I woke up at 4:10 this morning. It's really good. It's really good. I'm excited for this group. I love this group. This group has an unbelievable energy and so much upside that you really look forward to working with them. Today was good. It wasn't great, but today was a day that you saw glimpses of what we can do in certain areas, but there's a lot of work and there's a lot of patience on my part. But the upside to this is really, really good. And this is, we competed at a level I haven't seen since I've been here in practice. And our veterans should be given a lot of that credit, but it's also the new guys that know how to win and fight. And I loved what we did in our competitive drills today. And now it's step by step, and we've got 29 more before we throw it up for real. And we'll be a little slow here this first week and a half. We're off tomorrow. Gives our guys an opportunity to watch film, get their iPads, watch practice, learn. Coaches can go through some things with them and help them see what maybe we're talking about in practice. Then we'll practice again on Thursday. We're off on Friday. We've got a big clinic here this weekend, and we'll perform and practice actually at the clinic. So, you know, as I told them, it's their personal responsibility to understand everything that we're doing. And now we'll start where we really start adding things, and it's their job to keep up with that.
Just the athleticism is just much higher, and just the competitiveness and athleticism?
Both. Athleticism, length. I like our IQ. You know, IO just has a little bit of what I talked about with DeMonte last year. You know, just an ability to make passes. Georgie's very, very, very high IQ. We've made one big change this year. We're bringing officials in, and officials are at our practice every day. And we're trying to help our guys recognize fouls, what they can and can't do. And, you know, hopefully that'll help come game time, understanding that, you know, what a hand check is or what the cylinder is. And so we'll see how that progresses. But I liked having them out there today.
Coach, you talked about keeping things basic, fundamental over the summer. How you progress with what you're putting on the plate with the freshmen right now?
Yeah, today was basically everything that we did this summer, just done longer and emphasized maybe a little more in terms of not having as many time restrictions as we did this summer. So we'll jump into some different things on Thursday. You know, I think we learned a lot last year. We saw a ton of zone early last year. Maybe didn't spend enough time on that this time of year. We'll start spending a lot more time on zone offense things than we did a year ago. So we'll move a little quicker. Really want to get better on baseline outs, both ends of that, offensively and defensively. So we're going to spend a lot of time in segments on baseline outs. And then with a young group and a group that needs to understand situations, we'll spend a lot of time on situations as well.
Right, you've got considerable more size this year than you did last year, and it looks like those guys are moving pretty quickly. Just talk a little bit about your, you know, taller guys and how quickly they move for their size.
Yeah, we're more athletic there. There's no question. And then, you know, Georgie's a guy that has tremendous feet. He can really run. I think he was second in our timed mile behind Trent. Trent ran 5:12, I think, and I think Georgie ran 5:18, which for 6'9", 6'10", 240s is picking him up and putting him down pretty quick. And Samba can really run. You know, you get a little dose of Samba sprint the court. You know, and that's a guy who wasn't here for 8 weeks this summer, not in peak condition yet, but yeah, they can really move. And you know, and then Adonis, you know, you didn't see out there. You know, Adonis is a guy that's when we get him is 265 pounds and dropped 30 pounds, and yet he's mobile and light on his feet. So we're pretty athletic at that spot, and I like where we're I like our ability to guard ball screens better.
How is Adonis progressing, and any update on Anthony Higgs' foot?
Yeah, Adonis is it's just the natural progression of an ACL. You don't rush that. You know, there's stages of running that you get back to where you're full body weight and then cutting, but he's been awesome. He's very disciplined. The thing I like about Adonis, he's a savant. He's a basketball genius. And I mean, if you watch us as you grow watching us, he's talking, he's communicating. He knows everything we're doing already. He's really, really dialed into that. So Higgs, we'll see. You know, he's in a boot. You know, it's medical stuff, something I don't really get into. But we'll see with him. And then he's a guy that wasn't here for 8 weeks, and now he's got to get back into shape.
DeMonte's wearing a much heavier brakes this year, just to stabilize that.
Yeah, preventive, personalized, fits him. You know, it's as much for the knee as it is for the hamstring. So he's tweaked that before. So it's protective and preventive.
Well, these young guys, does it feel like a reset at all? Because so many guys are new to the system, does it feel a lot like you started with last year, or are you well ahead of that game?
Well, it doesn't feel anything like that. I promise you that. It's not even close, because I've got 6 guys, Drew and Tyler included, who know what we're doing, and they're leading, and they're helping, and so it doesn't feel anywhere close to that. And then when you get the new guys, everybody in the country's got new guys, and you're trying to fit them in, and you're trying to mold that. So completely different vibe.
On that note, how is Kipper's laid-back personality meshing with his requirement of providing senior veteran leadership?
He's been great. You know, he's had as good a summer as anybody. We've asked him to lean up. He's going to play kid that can play really any of the front court positions. He's strong as an ox. He's moving better. He's jumping better. We all know he's a very capable offensive player. You know, we've got to demand more from him on the defensive end, and he expects that from himself. So he's been, all of our veterans have been spot on, in my perspective, in terms of leadership and changing the culture in that locker room, and that's what excites me.
The morning practices, something you like, you prefer, or?
I love them. I think a couple reasons. We revamped our locker room. We made it a lot more friendly, and we get to see them. We get to see our guys more. When we practiced in the afternoon, we never saw them until really 15 minutes before, 20 minutes before practice, so we were not around them. Now they're over here early. They get a smoothie. We practice. Some of them have class. Some of them will, you know, we got breakfast here now, and we as coaches can spend a lot more time with them. And then I hope it shortens their day. What I mean by that is, instead of going to bed at 1, they go to bed at 10 or 11, knowing they've got to get up in the morning. And a lot of our guys were coming back in the evening to get shots. A lot of us coaches weren't here. So now they're coming back in the afternoon, and we're here and we get to see them. And I've said many times it's about relationships, and it's our access to those guys. And the locker room being a little different has helped, and I loved it through the fall.
Coach Andres plays a little downhill, a little bit of toughness. What does he add to this group?
Maturity, very high IQ, very savvy. He doesn't get sped up, which is very rare. It's very hard for guards especially to not play fast. He's got enough experience that he just plays with great flow and pace, and no matter what the defense does. He's an incredible intangible guy, and yet he's a guy that when you look down every night, he's got 20. And he makes the right pass, and he gets the rebound. He's He's got tremendous grit as a defender. That's going to be nice to have.
You talked a little bit about Io's passing ability, but defensively, what's he brought?
Yeah, I think that it's, again, he's tough. He's got pride, so he really cares at that end. That's a great start. Secondly, his length is, it's a challenge for people because, he's got very, very quick hands. He's got long arms. So he's very good at reading and anticipating. He's got to learn our system, which he's doing. But, he's going to be a guy that can really guard the ball. And I think he's going to be a guy that can really, really deny and be aggressive, on the defensive end. And he's got to learn to play against major college talent, every day. And, he and Trent have pretty good battles going. And if you can guard Trent Frazier, you can guard a lot of guys.
You've talked about Georgie's IQ and skills, but he also appears to have more physical strength than we're used to seeing from a freshman. Is that the case?
Yeah, he's really strong. We've got to get Georgie to be really consistent in terms of not fouling. Georgie doesn't run from contact. He initiates it, and sometimes to a fault. And we've got to be very good about how, he probably set 3-4 illegal screens today, just because he wants to make sure he hits somebody. And those are nice problems to have, but we got to make sure that he's on the court for us because he's a guy that gives us a lot of versatility.
A little bit down and Anthony about that until they're back, I guess. Just how much onus does that put on Georgie and his to be ready quicker?
Kipper, AJ, every guard's got to do it. I mean, it's anytime you're a man down, everybody's got to step up and do a little bit more. I think we've got to continue to do. Tevian's an elite rebounder. Allen's an elite rebounder for wings. Those guys got to pick up that slack. It becomes more important to have tremendous ball pressure, extend the wings a little bit, knowing that we don't want it to go to the post. Yeah, we'll continue to grow in that, and we'll see in Adonis's recovery and Anthony's, and we get him when we get him. In the meantime, we'll have to have every man step up.
Georgie's kind of got a contagious personality. How have you seen some of those guys gravitate towards him?
Well, that's what I hope everybody sees. I don't think it's just Georgie. I think this is a team that's alive. And I mean, we have a fun group. We have guys that, Io has tremendous personality. Tevian's one of the friendliest guys. And, Georgie's obviously, he's probably more known for his dance steps right now because he can waltz and do all that samba and everything else or salsa and, everything else. But he is very talkative. It's contagious. And I love that about him. But it's everybody. It becomes that personality that I want everybody to see, and it's blended great with our veterans.
AJ stepped up there at the end of practice and made the 2 free throws you're looking for. How important was maybe just he walked out there on his own?
Yeah, that's the best part of that, because I didn't have to call him out. And he does what a senior should do. And he's not afraid, and he knows he got it. He knew I was putting those young guys up there. You see how they handled pressure, especially with all you guys standing up there. And finally, enough was enough, And Trent missed, and Tyler missed, and he just said enough is enough. I'm not running anymore. And you value that. And again, that's something else that becomes just as contagious as anything else is that respect that he earns.
What can those young guys like Allen and Tevian learn from a guy like AJ who's been through those wars?
I hope they all learn from AJ how hard he works. And those guys do work extremely hard. The thing that I've said many times, Allen, Tevian, if they fall in love with Illinois, the way Aaron Jordan's fallen in love with Illinois, they're going to be great players. Because they play, AJ plays for the name on the front. And he is all about everything that we are about. And buy-in is critical, and that's what I love about all of our veterans, not just AJ. And that's what the new guys have to get to. And we're there, and we're not far off.
Samba lost anyways, Prince.
Yes. Yes, he has. He's had to run some again because he hasn't made them. But that's to be expected. I mean, he missed 8 weeks. You know, he wasn't here. You know, these guys get an 8-week advantage of Fletch. And he's done a great job of trying to maximize and get caught back up. But still, there's a difference when your physical conditioning is 8 weeks behind some other guys.
What can be accomplished conditioning-wise between now and opening day?
Well, this is the shortest preseason I've ever had. And I personally almost pushed practice back a week to give Fletch his time. But I chose to go very slow with this group. So we're one on, one off. And hopefully we can absorb some things mentally. But yeah, we've got to get better. Fletch does an unbelievable job. And I think he'd be the first to tell you we're in good shape, but we're not in great shape yet. And we've got to get that. Today's the first day these guys have gone 2.5, 3 hours in practice. So that in itself will help us get in better shape. But they'll continue to lift and get stronger. And as they get stronger, their wind will get better. And then we'll be able to sustain things at a better rate than we are right now.
You had to coach effort and culture so much last year. What about those newcomers makes that easier for this group?
They're winners. They know, I mean, winners do what you have to do to win. And it doesn't always have to be explained, or it doesn't always have to be demanded. Now, I'm going to demand it anyway. But it's something that is innate. I mean, I didn't have to get on any of those guys today about playing hard. They just know how to do it because winning is important to them. And sure, are there going to be bad days? Absolutely. But that part of it, I can coach basketball now. And we can start working on fundamental things to help them improve and scouting and so on and so forth. We can get to other aspects of that. Plus, I have veterans who also know now, and that's why they're here. So it's when I talked about winning, winners are special people. They know what it takes to win. And there's, you know, a guy like Io, and he's turned that thing up another gear here in the last 10 days because he knows the season's close. And he's been, you don't have to get on those guys near as much.
And by comparison, last year at this time, how frequently would you be coaching playing hard as opposed to coaching playing basketball?
We fought for our culture last year. We fought for our culture last year on a daily basis.
How much value is there in recruiting, having guys in your program that know what this culture is about, this program is about, in terms of when you bring guys onto your campus?
Well, I think anytime I could go out into the Illinois community, our fans, our other coaches in the state, whatever it is, and I don't get a definitive answer in what does Illinois basketball stand for, that's a problem. That's a problem. I think you know every time you face some of the best teams in the country what you're getting. That's what I want. When you think of Illinois basketball, I want you to think that we play hard, that there's a team that leaves it on the line every time. They play for the name on the front. They're going to execute. They're not going to turn the ball over. They're going to do certain things. And I want you to think of that and people to know that. And that's what I'm striving for every day, is for our identity to be no-brainer. First thing that comes out of when we ask people, what do you think of when you think of Illinois basketball? And that's when we'll have arrived, is when we get that put in place. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.